Cartoons 1101. Today we're going to be talking about Plankton from SpongeBob SquarePants. Yes, Plankton. And I'm going to be proving without a shadow of a doubt that Plankton is a martyr breaking generational curses. Yes, I said it. Amen, amen, amen. Now you're probably like, what is this girl talking about? Plankton still in the crab bag. That Plankton, how is break generational? Stick with me and just keep watching, because by the end of this video, you and me, we gonna be on the same page. We gonna know Plankton is not who y'all think he is. Now Plankton, he had y'all fooled, but he ain't got me fooled. And that's why I know Plankton is breaking generational curses. But before we get into this video, hi, my name is Chris As. I'm a YA contemporary fantasy author and the creator of my own indie comedy mystery cartoon, WKS. The pilot's out now. Go check that out and then come back here. Okay, now let's get into this video. Plankton is breaking generational curses. Y'all, this is Cartoons 1101. Your Professor Chris As. Let's get into it. This is serious. We gotta know what's going on with Plankton. Make sure to click the link in my bio to download the slides and follow along with the lecture. First of all, who is Plankton? Sheldon J. Plankton is a character from the cartoon SpongeBob SquarePants, which aired on Nickelodeon. The show premiered on July 17th, 1999. Okay, this was all our favorite show growing up. We should all know this. According to Guinness World Records, SpongeBob SquarePants was found to be 47 times more popular than the average TV show and was ranked higher than every other children's show in the world. See, that just shows y'all, this show is iconic. SpongeBob, honestly, to this day, we be debating on my lives, like, is SpongeBob the greatest of all time? And guilty, gotta be. But anyways, Plankton is the primary antagonist of the show. Y'all know he's always trying to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula from Mr. Krabs. He lives in the Bikini Bottom and owns a restaurant called the Chum Bucket, right? His rundown restaurant. Ain't nobody eating there. They probably got fleas up in the Chum Bucket, but he owns his own restaurant in the Chum Bucket. Notably, he is Mr. Krabs' arch nemesis. As you know, he's trying to steal the secret formula to drum up some business in his raggedy place. His family is featured in episode 18 of season 3, and the episode's titled Plankton's Army. Now, this episode is crucial to our argument on why Plankton is breaking generational curses, so remember that. We'll get back to that. Next, what is a generational curse? Okay, everybody has a family, and every family bears a story. Within that story lies an intricate networking of genetic code, both physically and spiritually. See, that just sound like a bunch of flowery words. According to Food Over Faith, she about to give it to y'all straight. Generational curses are defined as negative patterns of behavior, trauma, or sin that are believed to be passed down through families from one generation to the next. For example, if addiction runs in your family of any kind, that's an example of a generational curse. Of course, you know, slavery, and we can get into that generational curses. But anyways, as far as Plankton goes, it all starts with family. Vin Diesel family. So let's get into Plankton's family, okay? His parents are named Gordon and Ma. They appear, you see that top left with the lady with the thing sagging her stuff down to her kneecaps and the gold tooth? Oh yeah, you know they some hillbillies. Look, I mean, come on, yeah. In the episode Plankton's Army, when they're first introduced, there is a classic banjo playing in the background during the family introductions. Plankton's cousin introduces himself as Clam, and a few other family members are as follows: Rufus, Billy Bob, Billy Jam, Banana Family. Like they go on and on, y'all. Then Plankton's wife Karen didn't even know Plankton's real name was Sheldon until this episode. What can we infer from this, y'all? If his own wife didn't even know his name, that leads us to believe that Plankton was isolated. He either self-isolated or he was isolated. But given how his family was so welcoming and loving toward him, it's safe to infer that he self-isolated from them. In the episode, he's sort of like ashamed to be around them. And in the shame to be around them, it feels like it stems from their hillbillyisms, right? Like their lack of education or their socioeconomic status. Plankton's family literally speaks with a country accent, a thick country accent, but Plankton doesn't even have a country accent. This could be self-isolation, but not only that, Plankton being ashamed of his own family, he might have very well forcibly corrected himself from that accent because he was so disgusted, because, you know, the connotation with having a southern accent or a country accent is that you're less intelligent, which obviously is dumb. But because that's the societal stigma, Plankton doesn't want to be perceived as that. He literally says, I went to college every chance that he gets, thus leading to his educational background, which strays from his family's. Plankton is likely a first-generation college graduate or a first-generation college student. According to Applying the Family Fundamental Interpersonal Relations Oriental Model to the Study of First-Generation College, see, that's just a mouthful. Okay, we get it, child. Today, Today, there are nearly 5 million first-generation college students, 1 in 3 undergraduates, across the U.S. They're 5 times more likely to drop out of college after their first year than their peers. First-generation college students face formidable challenges in academia. Such challenges are even more daunting for students from historically minoritized communities and those from economically disadvantaged families. There is evidence to suggest that these challenges impact student success. Now, okay, we know that every chance Plankton gets, he says, "I went to college." He brings up community college, but never once does he explicitly confirm that he graduated from college. Since Plankton comes from a lineage of country folk who appear to not have gone to college, it's very important to note that this is likely due to their low socioeconomic status, putting them in this economically disadvantaged category. This means Plankton likely faced so many challenges in college, struggling, didn't have the resources, maybe wasn't prepared. That's why he said he went to community college as opposed to a full-blown university. But the point is, Plankton went to college and is likely a first-generation college student. Okay, can we all agree on that? Which means he's literally breaking a generational curse, the first in his family to go off and get an education. Y'all don't hear me today. Because although Plankton likely faced financial insecurity in upbringing, he surmounted the odds. This man went on and went to college, and maybe he didn't graduate, but he became an entrepreneur. Plankton is a restaurateur, owner of the Chum Bucket. He is constantly striving to turn the dead-end restaurant around and make it a success, which is why he constantly attempts to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. However, Plankton sure enough didn't graduate college, because why in the world would he start a restaurant business, go into the restaurant business, when they say 90% of restaurants fail? That may be what you're asking yourself. Well, let me tell you this. According to an article titled "Restaurant Mortality in the Western U.S., in stark contrast to the commonly cited statistic that 90% of restaurants fail in their first year, only about 17% of restaurants failed in the first year. In the Western U.S., restaurants and other service-providing businesses have median lifetimes of roughly 4.5 and 4.25 years, respectively. Ultimately, going into the restaurant business at all is tough. But Plankton still went for it with his entrepreneurial spirit, and maybe he just had that much faith and said, "I don't believe the common statistics. I'm going to be a go-getter and do it myself." He is breaking these generational curses. He's probably the first one in his family to start his own business and make it somewhere and do what he needs to do to get himself ahead. Despite the daggone odds, Plankton has managed to stay in business for many years, because he ain't successfully stole that secret formula. I don't know how he must be getting some checks somewhere, because that restaurant should have been shut down. Anyways, Plankton's American dream, he's literally pulling himself up by his bootstraps. He says, "Once I steal the Krabby Patty secret formula," come on, what are we even talking about? I'm tired of talking. Y'all know what it is. Plankton is a go-getter. Exhibits A, B, C, and D. Okay, y'all remember from the first SpongeBob SquarePants movie where he took over the world with the mind control devices, the buckets? Come on. This man is a genius. He probably went to school for engineering, had Mr. Krabs all froze, and almost successfully stole the Krabby Patty secret formula. Then in Exhibit B, he got Mr. Krabs butt naked in the Krusty Krab. He had his wife Karen do a computer simulation life swap with him and Mr. Krabs. Then in Exhibit C, he built a whole robot lookalike of Mr. Krabs so he could steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. And SpongeBob, he didn't even know who the real Mr. Krabs was. This man is a genius. Y'all don't hear me today. Plankton is breaking generational curses. This man is smart. Now, he may be not that smart, but this man is an intellectual. In conclusion, Plankton is breaking generational curses in his family because he is a first-generation college graduate, a restaurateur, and a bootstrapper determined to financially succeed in life despite his impoverished upbringing. Plankton's doing the daggone thing, because say what you want, going from Plankton's family down in the countryside with Hillbilly, Janet Bonobo, Philly, all them names, to being a restaurateur, now maybe a failed restaurateur, but he is still in business. Didn't I tell you Plankton was breaking generational curses? See, y'all didn't want to believe me. See, they told me about you. I said no. Comment down below if you agree Plankton is breaking generational curses, or you disagree that Plankton, he just ain't no good. Ain't no generational curses to break. Hit that like button and subscribe for more cartoon analysis deep dives. If you enjoyed this video essay analysis deep dive and you laughed, then you're gonna love my comedy mystery cartoon WKS. The pilot's out now. Go check that out next. And I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you do your homework. Bye.